Welcome back to the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT R. I've driven one of these in the canyons before, actually on this same road, and while that car was super impressive from a driving dynamics and overall performance standpoint, that particular example was modified heavily for the track with race spec suspension, and the damping was just not set up for a tight, twisty, bumpy road at all. So that's where this example comes into play. This one is bone stock. The owner, Sid, mentioned he picked this up not too long ago, and it's basically fully optioned. MSRP of this was right around $195,000 to $200,000, and this is a 2018 model year. It's finished in this beautiful shade of green hell, which of course refers to the Nürburgring Nordschleife, where this car did some amazing lap times when it first debuted. It's also optioned with the carbon ceramic brakes, the upgraded lightweight wheels, and all the carbon exterior and interior bits, including the rear wing. The only mod Sid has done are these aftermarket paddle shifters. Market value for one of these GTRs is in the $110,000 to $120,000 range, which means these have depreciated quite a bit. These used to compete with the likes of Porsche's GT3 RS, but now you can pick them up for the price of a used 991.1 GT3. That might actually be the perfect comparison in the future. We're powered by the 4-liter twin-turbo V8 engine. In the GTR, it makes 577 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, the same get-drag unit found in the Ferrari 458, but this car is quite heavy at almost 3,700 pounds. We've got double wishbone suspension front and rear. Technically, this is a front midship design. If you open up the hood, you can actually see from the side profile, the engine is actually quite compact and mounted very far back. This has rear axle steering. I was actually pleasantly surprised when I did a U-turn. Very excellent turning radius. We've got 9-stage traction control as well. Definitely set up with the driver as the focus. Interior impressions, it is very nice. It feels high quality, as should a 6-figure Mercedes. I do think this kind of center console design is a little bit busy and not that ergonomic. At 5'7" with my seating position, it's quite hard to reach the transmission gear lever actually. And even this rotary dial here requires a bit of a T-Rex arm. This Alcantara steering wheel has completely worn out. Overall, the interior does feel last generation, but I think the overall design should hold up pretty well to the test of time. We still have physical knobs and controls for basically everything. But let's get this fired up and see how it drives with stock suspension, thankfully. All right, so first things first, this has a lot of different drive modes. So we can use this dial here to put it from comfort, sport, sport plus, race, and then there's an individual mode, which is what I'll be using today. Engine response, which we'll keep in race, ESP, which we'll keep in sport, so that gives us a little bit of slip. The exhaust, we'll have it in sport plus, transmission in manual mode, and then the suspension, we have comfort, sport, and sport plus, but I found that this car, even in comfort mode, is quite stiff for a bumpy road, so we'll leave it in comfort. I really don't like the placement of this gear lever. It's just very not ergonomic. Maybe if I was like 6'4" with my seat all the way back, it wouldn't be as much of a problem. Short people problems, I guess. Now, the view from inside the cockpit, you just get this long hood in front of you. I have the seat as low as it'll go. I can see out the front and sides just fine. Rear visibility, slightly limited. The sills are a bit high, but overall not bad. Wow. The first thing you notice when you put your foot down is the low end torque. There is so much of it, and it's virtually immediate. Very little turbo lag with this twin turbo setup. Hear that low V8 rumble. Oh yeah. Wow, it's a lively car, even just going straight. Excellent pedal feel from the carbon ceramic brakes. They don't require much warm-up at all. Sid said he used to own a 599 Ferrari before this, and that had the worst brakes. Oh wow, yeah. I love the front midship weight distribution. The turn-in of this car is unlike any other 3,600 plus pound car that I've ever felt. This is aggressive on turn-in, but the suspension, wow, even in comfort mode, it is harsh. Not nearly as bad as that last example. This is still pretty intense. Steering, not bad. It's precise. A little bit light for my liking. It doesn't load up much in the corners. It is electric power steering, of course. I wouldn't call it a major weakness of the car, but I do wish it was better. A 991.1 GT3 for around the same money does steer better than this. All right, let's open up this twin turbo 4-liter V8 from first gear. Oh yeah, 7,000 RPM red line. It revs all the way to the top, and there's so little delay when you put your foot down. Even from, say, 3,000 RPM, it's got great response. Oh, but right there, those little bumps, you feel them in this car. I think in the .1 and .2 GT3 with stock suspension, those actually handle these bumps significantly better than this car does. Really quick downshifts. You feel every shift. There's a little bit of drama to it. You hear the crackles and the burbles from the exhaust on the overrun. This is a driver's Mercedes for sure. Oh, I just wish the rear suspension had a bit more travel. It feels like it's skipping over some of the bigger bumps. Now, there's really no reason to use second gear on this road, because in third gear, with this nice short gearing, there's actually a lot of torque. Wow. The straight line performance, 577 horsepower. Yes, that's a lot of power, but it doesn't sound like anything ludicrous. But because this engine is so torquey in the mid-range, it feels like more than that. It feels like 600 plus. This is quite the engine. And I love the fact that it's compact and it's mounted very far back in the engine bay. It makes this car a lot more nimble than you might think based on these specs. And of course, that's also helped by the rear axle steering. Just like the 991 GT3, the rear axle steering this car makes a huge difference. It makes it feel so much nimbler in the tight corners. Oh, the brake feel is just phenomenal here. So much modulation. It's not overly grabby. Oh yeah. I'm loving this. As some of you guys might know, I am in the market for a new car and potentially an entry-level used supercar right in this price range. And now that I'm driving this, I do think I need to seriously consider one in my near future. These are very capable on track. Obviously, they're much heavier than a GT3, some 500 to 600 pounds heavier. So in terms of consumables, you will be going through, you know, tires and brakes more often. But at the same time, this front engine rear drive layout, it speaks to me in a way that rear engine doesn't quite. Although at the same time, a rear engine car would be more of a challenge for me. And I do enjoy a good challenge. Oh my goodness. Hard to go full throttle in this car. There's just that much torque. Even with these sticky Cup 2 tires, we're a bit traction limited. Now, this is a great sports car and a great entry-level supercar. We've had suspension in comfort mode this whole time, and even then you could see I was being jostled up and down by some of those bumps. Let's see if we can put the power down on this straight. Just barely. First gear is a struggle. Wow, wow, wow. I do really enjoy this engine, but I do wish it made a bit more aggressive of a sound from inside the cabin. The engine just feels like it's a little bit distant, even though it's technically right here. Maybe it's just the extra insulation. And I do wish this car was a bit lighter, maybe 3,500 pounds, 3,400 if possible. This seat though, pretty comfortable. It's not a bucket seat, it's more of a sport seat. Decent side bolstering for your back, but the side bolstering for your thighs is definitely not very aggressive. But overall, wow, what an impressive car. In stock form, I do think this is quite a bit more canyon friendly compared to the modified example I drove not too long ago. All I can really sum up this review with is, wow, I am gonna have to shortlist this if I decide to go with an entry-level supercar. This versus 991.1 GT3 versus 718 GT4 versus NC1 NSX. Man, lots of great options in this sort of $100,000 to $130,000 price range. So a big shout out to the owner, Sid. Let me know what you think about the AMG GT R. Out of the cars I just mentioned, which do you think would fit my use case the best, which is a lot of street driving, but also the occasional track day. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.